Hello, my dear fourth graders, Mrs. Wilson here. So last time you guys did a little bit of research, and hopefully my video helped you guys understand how to do the research, and at the end how to do the bibliography, because that is very important to give credit to the people who wrote those articles and those books that you use the information from. So today we're going to focus on yet another way to present information. One more way that we can present information is through narrative format. And you know how in narrative format you guys use a lot of dialogue. It's about one character and the character's journey through something. So basically that is what you guys are going to have to do. Narrative structure tells a story, and informational text does fact presentation. Sometimes it is okay to do the fact presenting through a character in a story, and sometimes that format really doesn't fit. So you have to check and figure out, is there a place in your writing where you can do that? Watch in the next segment how I do the narrative format with one of my legends. I didn't do it with the whole chapter of the many different legends because I felt like it would be pointless to do the whole chapter with all the different stories, but I will definitely do it with just one, and hopefully you guys will be able to see the difference between the one before and the one after. So enjoy. Alright, you guys, so I chose to do chapter 2, which was the many different legends, and instead of doing the whole chapter with all of the legends, I just decided to show you one. I think that it's going to show you enough. So I'm going to do the main legend, and this is the way that I wrote it with sequential order. More than a dozen centuries ago, the Proto-Bulgarian ruler Hannes Baruch left his home in the distant Tibetan mountains in search of fertile land for his people to live on. He passed through many rivers and mountains until he finally reached the land of the Slavs, who greeted him and his people as dear guests. Slav women wearing white outfits brought drinks while the tables were full of foods, everything that grows on that blessed land. But the Han was sad and homesick, and he missed his mother and his dear sister Kalina. He sat by the huge river, and tears ran down his face while he prayed to God and the sun for a miracle to happen. And it did happen. A swallow landed on his shoulder, and the Han shared all his sorrow to her. Then the swallow flew away back to the land the Proto-Bulgarians came from, and with a human voice it told Kalina, the Han's sister, that her brother found a new land for his kingdom, but he misses her so much and sends his best feelings. Kalina was so happy to hear that, and she decided to send her brother a token that she had got the news. She made a small bunch from some green bush. She bound it with a white woolen thread and made knots at the end of the thread as a greeting sign. And she sent the swallow to take that bunch back to her brother. The swallow flew fast as lightning, and very soon it landed on the Han's shoulder again. But due to the long flight, his wing was hurt, and some blood drops dyed the white woolen thread. The Han was so happy to see the green bunch, he got his sister's greeting by the knots that she had made, and so he pinned the bunch on his chest. The Han ordered his men each to put a small bunch of twisted red and white thread on that day each year for health and heavenly blessing. Since then, on the 1st of March, all Bulgarians follow this tradition of blessing each other with threads of red and white creations on their wrists, or as Pijo and Penda decorations on their coats. And here's the paragraph after, you guys. Hopefully you're going to see some of the different changes. One day, a swallow landed on a man's shoulder. The man was Hannes Baruch, who had left his family behind and was searching for new land to relocate his family to, and he seemed very sad and desperate. He shared his sorrows with the swallow, in saying that he misses his mother and his sister he left behind in a distant land. He really wished he could see them again. He told the swallow that he did find the rich and beautiful land he was hoping to find, and now he wishes to see his family here too. The swallow decided to help this poor man, and as it flew away, he decided to embark on this long journey of finding the Han's family. After a long, grueling trip, the swallow did find the Han's sister, Kalina, and told her all about the Han's newfound land. "Your brother, Hannes Peru, has found new land," the swallow said in the softest and yet exciting human voice it had. Kalina was scared at first, and because she never had a swallow speak to her before. But as she realized what the swallow said, she became so excited. She quickly went and made a small bunch from some green bush. She bound it with a white woolen thread and made knots at the end of the thread as a greeting sign. And she sent the swallow to take the bunch back to her brother. The swallow flew fast as lightning back to the Khan, but as it flew, its wing got cut, and some of the blood got onto the thread Kalina had tied to it. Very soon it landed on the Khan's shoulder again. "I bring you a present from your sister," said the swallow in a soft and very tired voice. The Khan was so happy to see the green bunch. He got his sister's greeting by knots she had made, and so he pinned the bunch on his chest and thanked the swallow. The Khan ordered his men each to put a small bunch of twisted red and white thread on that day each year for health and heavenly blessing. The swallow did recover from the blood wound it got and was very happy to have helped. Because of the swallow's brave actions, now on the 1st of March, all Bulgarians follow this tradition of blessing each other with threads of red and white creations on their wrist, or as Pijo and Penda decorations on their coats. All right, you guys, so hopefully you were able to see the difference between the paragraph before and the paragraph after. On the paragraph before, there was no dialogue in there. On the paragraph after, there were a couple of places where we put dialogue. Hopefully you also noticed that on the second one, there was a lot more details about the character, the bird itself, and what the bird was doing and what the bird was thinking in some places. Hopefully that gave you an idea of how you can use narrative in your writing, and now it is your turn. So you need to take a look at your chapters, or any chapters that you haven't developed yet, and try and figure out if there's a good spot where you can create a character and have your information be presented through a character in the story. You're going to want to be thinking about who your character is. You're going to want to be thinking about the setting, and you want to be thinking about some of the events that are going to be happening to help present your information in that way. Good luck, have fun, and happy writing.